Deion Sanders versus Matt Rhule. In this first part of the show, we're going to break down their coaching philosophies, kind of how each coach has built their program. Obviously, Matt Rhule is elected. I mean, he didn't take no transfers, and they didn't lose. Like, they lost some transfers, but they've elected to be homegrown, having lost and brought in the fewest transfers in the FBS, I believe. And Colorado and Deion kind of built it the other way, where they're bringing in a lot of transfers. They've lost a lot of guys as well. But I think both strategies at the end of the day will work if they can instill a culture. Matt, can you kind of just speak to each coach's philosophies and building their program? As we look forward to this game on Saturday.
Yeah, 100%, man. Look, let's start with Nebraska. Nebraska, Matt Rhule, he's a program builder. He did it at Temple. He did it at Baylor. Carolina Panthers aren't a program. He's not a pro coach. He knows that now. Yeah. And he comes back to Nebraska, and honestly, look, CU interviewed Matt Rhule, and he decided he took the Nebraska job. Mm-hmm. So he must think the Big Ten is a better fit for him. That culture is a better fit for him. I love his coaching staff. Coach Knighton, their D-line coach, is a great coach. Coach Rhule is a great coach. That's their connection to getting the quarterback kid they bagged. Yeah. Who's a stud. The best quarterback there throwing the football probably they've ever had. They've had some great players at that position, Taylor Martinez and Eric Crouch, bitch ass, and, Tommy Frazier, who, God almighty, Tommy Frazier was a fucking animal back in the day before he got the blood clots. Great players at that position throughout history. But at the same time, Nebraska's built on physical up front, kick your ass all day, great defense, black shirt defense. The real black shirts are coming on motherfucking Saturday, by the way. All right. You just adopted that uniform. That's what we bleed. They are built on that, but they are not that yet.
Right.
They don't have Richie Incognito at guard. They don't have fucking, they don't have Joel Makovica at fucking fullback. Eric Crouch isn't a quarterback. That's a freshman playing the first time he's going to play against a Power 4 team. And look, I understand Colorado's got some holes on defense that they need to fix, but I also watched them fix them in the second half against North Dakota State. So you give me 10 days to scout Nebraska, and we've got tape on them. They have tape on us now, too. They're going to scout us up, too. If you don't double-team Travis Hunter the whole game, he'll just beat you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, look, Nebraska is built on a principle. They're always going to have that instilled in every team. They're going to try and instill it anyway. Mm-hmm. Almost to their detriment.
Yeah.
Like for so long, Nebraska, I remember when they hired Bill Callahan, and Bill Callahan tried to change things, and they were so resistant to change because they're just like, well, we need to run the ball. And it's like, again, when you play to your strengths, you need to do what you're good at. So I think Nebraska's finally understanding that they have to be, like, you actually have to be able to throw the football in today's modern football to win. So this is the quarterback they have. The Rhule kid is a fucking animal. He's going to be a great player. Yeah. He's a really good player. But being you can't lose to a freshman in this situation. So they built their team through recruiting high school kids and trying to develop the guys they have on the roster. But those same guys on the roster last year, regardless of how much they developed them over the last 9 months, still got beat 36-7. I know it was 36-14, but they scored on the last play of the game. I was on the sideline watching it, and I was like, oh, who gives a fuck about this? So it was 36-7. It was a fucking destruction. It was one of the only times all year that CU's defense looked dominant.
Yeah.
In fact, I would argue it was the only time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Arizona State, I wouldn't say they looked dominant. I think there was just two bad teams in the long run. CU was on the way up, and Arizona State was on the way down. CU's losing small, Arizona State's losing big. That whole adage. Mm-hmm. That's what that was. But I would say that CU Nebraska game last year, sitting in 101 around all those fucking farmers and inbreeders, and listening to the way they talk and watching the beatdown, and then being in the locker room and seeing how everybody was just like, wow, these guys suck. Mm-hmm. I know they won 5 games and we only won 4. If they would have played in the Pac-12, they wouldn't have won a game. Mm-hmm. So this is not that. I think that Nebraska needs to understand that they're rolling out the same dudes, whereas I think CU understood that it's not a bad thing to lose players if you can also replace them. Like, they didn't just lose guys, they replaced guys. You know, like they fortified the wide receiver room. They got better offensive linemen. Jordan Seaton might be the number 1 pick when he comes out. Like, that. Look, they have 3 potential top 10 NFL draft picks on their offense.
Yeah,
all right. Shador's might be the first pick. Travis Hunter's the best player I've ever seen ever. And I'm not fucking around. Like, if he played for Nebraska and was doing what he was doing, I would say he's the best fucking player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It would be must-watch TV. He's a fucking animal. Okay. He should about that here in a minute. Jordan Seaton reminds me so fucking much of Walter Jones. Like, he's the same size, he's the same length, he's the same fucking build, he's the same kick step. It's all super fluid. Like, he's fucking Walter Jones is a first ballot Hall of Famer, best fucking player in Seattle Seahawks history.
Yeah, legend, yep.
Legend, homie. So, I think that they're just loaded with talent. And they look, you heard Bucky talk about it. They played like shit. Joe Klatt, unbelievable Buffalo country, by the way. I got to scold you for a second. Anybody that has anything bad to say about my boy Joel. Joel went on and said some true shit. What did I say the other day? If you cannot criticize what you love, you don't really fucking love it.
True.
And Joel Klatt, of all people, Joel motherfucking Klatt, Joel sell his soul for Colorado Klatt, who had more concussions and played through injury and did more shit for that university, especially when we were under fucking scrutiny and everybody was fucking saying we were going to honor 12 and shit. That fucking leader stood up and led us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you have the audacity to question his fucking evaluation of North Dakota State and how we get better? I think he's spot on. We need to run the ball. We need more constructive schemes. We got to fix the penalties. We can't do dumb shit. We can't lose fucking battles we're supposed to win. Play too much man coverage. He can see it. I can see it. Why are the fans so fucked up that they can't accept criticism, dog?
I think part of it
is a moronic alcoholic. That's what this fucking idiot puts on there. Block this motherfucker. I don't want him on the show again. Like, this is what I'm talking about. People, you criticize something and they think they love it. They just like it. You're buying a jersey, fuck boy. We bleed that color.
Yeah, and I think Colorado fans kind of mistake criticism from those in the media. Joe Klatt played there. You got to understand. I think everything he said, if you listen to it, was spot on. Listen to what he said and actually listen to it, and don't just be.
So why is it okay? Why is it okay for Bucky to be real, but Joel can't?
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Like, well, come on, you can't. Come on, CU fans, you're better than this shit. You're smarter than this. So look. I understand there's a lot of prime sexuals that get super offended every time you say something that they perceive as negative, which is fucking everything, because you're like a new gender. So, God, I wonder if we're going to fucking offend you. So, look, I personally, you know how much I love that place. You know how interwoven we are with the community. Mm-hmm. This is a very, very touchy time in CU history. There's things that need to be fixed, and if we fix them, people, we are going to be fucking unstoppable.
Yeah, I agree with
because we have the best quarterback in the country, the best player in the country in Travis Hunter, probably the best slot player in the country in Jimmy Horn. We've got the best freshman offensive lineman in the country in Jordan Seaton. Mm-hmm. We've got fucking speed everywhere. Shepard's a beast. We haven't even fucking highlighted him yet. I mean, look, you learn so much week to week, first game to second game, and they have 10 days to get ready for Nebraska. They watched them as a unit. So I understand that CU and Nebraska have built these things differently. Of course, they're different types of coaches. Matt Rhule is a career coach. He played, of course, but after he got done playing in college and shit, he went and fucking coached. Deion Sanders, a first ballot Hall of Famer, maybe the best football player that's ever fucking played. Mm-hmm. Of course they're going to do shit differently. They can. Yeah. If Coach Rhule and Nebraska could play with the kind of swag and could get all the entire fucking community behind them the way that Coach Prime did, they would. Look, you have to understand, people hate Colorado because they cannot mimic Colorado. You can't mimic it. They think that because we've been dormant for 20 years, with the exception of 2016. Keep in mind, I'm the last senior to win a bowl game at that place. On like, it was me and Sam and Jesse and like a bunch of offensive guys. I was the only senior on defense, And I was in 2004 holding a trophy at 8-5, like, wow, we should have won 10 games. This sucks. I might sell my soul for an 8-win season. Yeah. So what I'm trying to reiterate here is Coach Prime can do things differently because he's fucking Coach Prime, idiots.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to play by the same fucking rules everyone else has to play by. Mm-hmm. If you don't manipulate the system when you are playing it like a fucking fiddle, you're a goddamn moron, and he's far from that.
Yeah. And let me say this as we continue to break down kind of we talked Matt Rhule, now we're kind of focusing on Coach Prime and how he's built Colorado's program. I want to show this video of him kind of praising Matt Rhule, Dillingham kind of down at Arizona State and some other down at Utah.
Hold on a second. Look at this. Look at this stupid shit. Matt is so sensitive. You and Joel are homers and scared to criticize Deion. Me? I'm scared to criticize Coach Prime and see you. Okay. Obviously, you have not been paying attention to how this goes, fuckboy, or whoever you are. Yeah. Anonymous A.
Yeah, so anyway, as we continue to talk about Coach Prime was talking about...
Haley, don't just change the subject, asshole.
I can't even say that guy's name. I'm not even worried about it.
Don't listen to me. You run the show. I just work here.
Hey, so Coach Prime, as we continue to talk about Coach Prime was talking about, he gave praise to Matt Rhule, Dillingham, and other coaches for inheriting tough situations. Take a listen here.
I have a ton of respect for Matt Rhule. He's in, I call it our class of coaches. We all, took on a tremendous test that year, along with Coach Dillingham and several others. So I feel like we're a fraternity. So I root for that class of head coaches that came in that year. He was a professional, did a phenomenal job, maybe not the job that he aspired to do, but he has a ton of experience, and I love what he's accomplished in his college coaching career. So I look for them to be physically tough and posing, and try to run the football. They have a freshman quarterback that had a pretty good day last week, but we got to do what we do. We got to go in there and do what we're capable of doing. And I think we showed the glimpses of that in the second half of our first game against a formidable opponent.
Matt, your thoughts on that?
I think North Dakota State would beat UTEP by 4 touchdowns, number one. At UTEP, I think they would beat the fucking Christ out of them. That's number one. Number two, I love that he's praising his opponent as Matt Rhule praises Coach Prime, because there is hatred here, but there is unbelievable mutual respect between the two fucking programs, because Nebraska now knows. For years, they thought they used to. I remember sitting in the Denver Bronco team room one day, and it was towards my end of my time in the NFL, and my boy Corral Buckhalter was sitting right next to me. He was a great running back in Nebraska. Mm-hmm. And we were talking shit back and forth, and he just looked at me and goes, "We always just looked at y'all like you were the Fluffalos." And it made me mad as fuck. And I was like, we weren't Fluffalos in 01 or 02 or 04. They got a 20-game lead on us and shit. Like, that's how they used to look at us. Now, they can't look at us like that no more. If you don't bring your lunch pail against the University of Colorado, they will embarrass you, period, especially if you're in Nebraska. Again, what's that graphic? Could you put that graphic up real quick?
Which graphic?
The one about the days.
Days. Oh, I don't have that.
Oh, you don't have that. What the fuck, Bailey? Get it up. Let's go, dog. I'm trying to set you. I threw you an oop and you fucking missed it.
Okay, so the graphic said that it's been 5,031 days since Nebraska has beaten Colorado. That's what it's
5,031 days.
Yes,
5,000 days.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of days.
Yeah.
Lot. That's a lot for me to just talk shit. And we got a bunch of fucking cool shit coming on Friday with this highlight tape Bailey's making. So, hey, 666, number of the beast in the chat. So, got to take advantage of that every time. I'm saying, like, look, there's no more like, well, we can beat them up and they're soft, or we can beat them up and they're soft. Both teams need to walk in here expecting to get into a fist fight. Like, this is going to be super physical. It's going to be personal. There's going to be a lot of shit talking. Shiloh can't play like a crash dummy outside of the lines.
Yeah.
Inside of the lines, I want you to crash dummy everyone's ass. But outside of the white lines and after the whistle, please don't kill anyone, then kill us.
Yeah.
You're killing yourself and killing us at the same time. So I thought it was hilarious that Mark called him Crash Dummy Dog.
But,
I love
awesome.
so only brothers can roast each other like that. You know that he walked up to him and he was like, hey, probably slapped him in the head. He's like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Play like a Crash Dummy. Yeah. And you mentioned something. And you said this is personal. Coach Bryant talked about Nebraska and he said it's personal. Take a listen here.
And the theme of the whole week, this is personal. This ain't no game. This ain't no play. This is personal, and we're going to address it as such.
Yeah,
that's true.
This is Nebraska week is fucking personal.
True. There's no bigger game, especially because it's not on the schedule for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when we're going to play them again. They don't know when they're going to play us again. If we beat them 4 times in a row, and after we do, they're not going to be in a fucking hurry to play us again. I'll tell you that shit. So what? Did we just beat the will out of you to play us, you bunch of pussies?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you can go play Illinois and Northwestern and shit, but you know who your real rival is, motherfucker. It's us and Oklahoma. All right, you ain't got a Big Ten rival. That's why you're irrelevant in the conference. At least we went back to old kind of Big 12 land, kind of, with Kansas State and like fucking Oklahoma State and Iowa State and shit. Kansas, at least teams that I know I hate. Yeah. Come back home so we can beat that ass again. Yeah, right. Why would they leave all that money?
Yeah, that's fair.
But think about this. We didn't get any turnovers. Like they got a rookie quarterback. Like we have 10 days to get ready for a rookie. I don't see a world where we have 10 days to get ready for a rookie quarterback, even in Lincoln, and we don't confuse them and get, 3, maybe 4 turnovers. If we imagine 4 more possessions, I just don't see Shedeur making the big mistakes. I think the rookie making the big mistakes. I don't see the Buffs having any pressure on them. They've won 3 in a row. They beat the shit out of them last year. All the pressure's on Nebraska. They're in Memorial. They're supposed to win the game. They're fucking 9-point favorites. I don't know what the people in Vegas are smoking, but I'm taking that motherfucking number, dog. Let's go.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet that too. Yeah.
Motherfucking points. Are you out of your mind? 9 fucking points for a team that we beat.
That line's up to 9.
Fucking 9.
7.
What the
I was
fuck?
gladly happy to take it at 7. 7. I'll gladly take 7
now. Yeah,
well, 7 Colorado. I'll gladly take that.
Crazy.
Yeah,
people betting the number like crazy. So, like, they're right here. Buff Ball says they're 220 on the money line. I got to get on that shit right after the show's done. I'm on that.
Yeah.
So I just look. It's almost like the entire country doesn't. I know they don't believe in CU. I know they don't. Everybody wants them to lose. That's not a Buff fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get that. But you know what? I revel in it, and I love it. I fucking love it when everyone hates you. And there's not, bro. I won there. I was on a team that won there in 2002. I was on a team in 2004 where we stopped a 57-year bull streak. 57 fucking years those communists went to a bowl game. And then the 2004 Buffs came in and they stopped that tradition. Start a new list, motherfucker. Mm-hmm. I was there in 2018. I sent you that picture. I can't wait to show up Friday.
Yep.
I was there in 2018 when they beat them in Memorial. The mystique of Memorial is gone for Buff fans. We expect to go there and win. And all the Buff fans that are going to coat that fucking place. And you're going to hear the fight song all night. And when we win, we're going to walk out talking shit. And all they're going to say is good game. And all like that fucking Tufts and I needed like a police escort last time.
Yeah.
So this is very personal. Yep. And I love the fact that Nebraska is acknowledging it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, it's no longer like this smug where Nebraska mindset. You want to know when they stopped being Nebraska?
Sure.
November 26, 2001.
Yep.
That was the last time I remember Nebraska being Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, you don't scare nobody anymore.
Yeah. Sorry,
dog. But the coffin was nailed shut that day. And since then, you ain't been number 1 again. You haven't won your conference, no Heismans. Sorry, but I take a lot of pride in destroying your program.